My ex-girlfriend, 19, cheated on me, 19M, and started seeing someone instantly. I want to grow and move on from this. I think I'm dealing with a narcissist. I dated my high school sweetheart for nearly 2 years. We are both young 19-year-olds, and we just set off for college. I went to Hawaii, and she ended up going to Arizona. Things went south from there, to say the least. Not even 2 weeks after I left, I caught her on Tinder. She had linked her Instagram account, and it got sent to me by some random guy, True Bro. She claimed she was only on it for friends and was set to girls only. Obviously, she was lying. Later she said it was because she wanted validation. Validation that I wasn't giving her. What an awful thing to say. I know I gave that girl everything. Hell, I even planned to transfer colleges. That's not the end of it. I forgave her and took her back, and things proceeded as usual. Of course, long distance was rough, but we managed. We even saw each other at Christmas for the break, and everything seemed okay. Then towards the end of March, things drastically changed with her behavior. She started working 2 jobs and getting really busy and stressed. However, she still had time to hang out with friends, which hurt because I was depressed because I was entirely online and living off campus during the school year and couldn't meet anyone. She couldn't even talk to me for 5 minutes on the phone, among other unfair words and actions. We then started this cycle of on-again off-again communication. Saying the usual, I love and miss you, let's try to work this out, etc. Finally, she told me she wanted to be friends right after we had found out I got accepted to her school and was planning on moving. I worked so hard to get my grades up, and this hurt. Eventually, after we officially broke it off, 2 weeks later, she texted me that she is seeing someone new. She told me, it just sort of happened, I didn't want to be sad over the breakup, and we were friends beforehand. This crushed me. I knew the guy was around, I knew they were co-workers, but lightning that was fast. I broke down. I have never felt so bad in my life. I know this girl is awful for me, but this hurts so much for some reason. A day ago, she called me and said she still misses me and always thinks about me. She told me she was not as happy as she was when she was with me. Of course, I asked her, so are you dating this guy because you genuinely want to move on and be happy? Or is it that you don't want to be alone? She proceeded to play the victim and tell me that I was accusing her of things she didn't do. After that conversation, she said that she loved me, said I deserve better, and hopes I live a happy and fulfilling life. I blocked her. I can't have her texting me and calling me out of the blue, especially when she has a new boyfriend. I know she has mistreated me, not just recently but throughout our relationship. I guess what I am asking for is some guidance here. I am envious that she gets to find someone new and move on after treating me horribly. I couldn't meet people at my college because of COVID, and I genuinely felt stuck while she was able to go out and meet new people and her new boyfriend. I was so kind, and I gave her as much love as my little 19-year-old self could muster. I know she's terrible for me, but why am I still crying? Why does she get to have such an easy time with this while I'm left to pick up the pieces? Do you guys think she means it when she says she misses me and is not as happy? Why do I feel so envious? What should my next move be to heal? I genuinely hope you guys can find it in you to give me some much-needed guidance. I would genuinely appreciate it. I'm starting therapy soon, and I just applied to transfer to my dream college, UW. Comments. 1. She checked out of the relationship right after you left for college. She didn't move on quickly, she's been moving on all year. She strung you along, but she got a big head start. She broke it off with you when you got the transfer because at that point, she knew she couldn't keep cheating in secret, and you'd find out. No contact is the right move. She's not your friend. Spend some time healing. Exercise, academics, or work are all good ways to do that. Set some personal goals and achieve them. Things that will help you build a better future. It will restore your confidence and help you to understand that she's the one who lost out. She'll go on to do to the next guy what she did to you, because she hasn't come to see the consequences yet. When she reaches out, she will, don't respond. Opie, I just don't know how she can just say, I didn't want to be sad about the breakup so I started hanging out with this guy and it just happened. Why would she say those things to me? It's so hurtful. Why does she get to be the one that moves on and dumps this on me? 2. She gets to move on because she doesn't care about you. That's the sad truth. Just let her go and continue with your life. No need to waste it on her. OP, I figured. She called me before I blocked her number and told me she's not as happy with this guy and she still thinks about me all the time. She says that later down the line she thinks she could talk to me, but I can't help but feel that's manipulative and that she's lying. I can't believe I vested this much time into someone who is this selfish. I feel so silly and I don't want to block myself from any new experience because of this trauma. 3. I get you, man. I really do. I was in my early 20s when something similar happened to me. Fell in a hole that caused me to shut myself off for almost 2 years. But luckily I came out of that hole, and so can you. You're young, full of life, and have so much to experience, but know that heartbreak is part of that experience. She made her choice and sadly, you weren't that choice. Move on to better things, man, you'll be fine in time. Just get her out of your life, because she's nothing but poison. Opie, I just hope one day she says, geez, I really screwed up, he was so nice to me, I just don't want to feel like my time was wasted trying to be nice to her. I feel so bad for saying this, but she ultimately has nothing good coming to her. She's unmotivated, childish, and insecure, and I just want her to eventually realize what she lost. 4. Dude, chances are she doesn't care about anyone right now. She's living her life and you know this too. Let him deal with his mistakes. You'll be fine, but again, you'll need some time. 5. It's a weird thing, and a hard life experience. First, I'd validate your feelings. She's in body, and clearly already moved on before she told you and wanted to just explore new things to have a safety net before she closed you out, and you about to move just forced the issue. It sounds like she, and probably you too, didn't know how to communicate well and be vulnerable to each other. There's no excuse for her dishonesty. She clearly kept you on the line as long as was convenient for her, and she should have communicated her problems and what was missing earlier, and you should have uncovered it earlier. Having been through something similar, I just want to tell you to give up on the thought pattern of the last few paragraphs. You probably did waste your time. You might have been the best partner she could hope for. She might have made a big mistake. She might regret it. But thinking about those things, and waiting for them, and using them as some sort of measure of success, will just leave you heartbroken and stuck on the past. Even if any of the above became true, 99% she'd never tell you just to not appear weak. And it's likely that if they've moved on, those won't happen in the first place. You might have been the best ever, but people are very good at convincing themselves the last person sucked and the new person is amazing. Repeat, repeat. The sooner you can move on, and the sooner you can start worrying about what a new person thinks of you, rather than the previous person, the better. Or be alone for a while. Nothing wrong with doing something like traveling for a year and discovering yourself. As someone who still thinks about their ex from time to time, the less you do, the better. They'll never give you the satisfaction you want. Especially if they were in the wrong.